normally they say you should wait a little bit so people can hear you. So now I'm just talking to myself. I hope not. We are live! I think we are way more before already live. Every time it's a new journey, a new tool, although it's Facebook Live. But we are very grateful that Facebook give us this opportunity to be on live for free. If you could unblock us, I will be very grateful as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for joining us. We see the number increasing time by time. This is already our fourth passion dialogue. We have been doing this every week. Now for the fourth time. This is for everyone who joined newly, this is a ZaZaZu's passion dialogue. My name is Jingjin.
I'm Cassandra.
And ZaZaZu is a discrete e-commerce ecosystem to guide women to explore, experiment, and enhance your sexual journey through education, consultation, and curation of products based on your very individual needs. What we want to achieve is we aim to normalize sexual wellness, something it's so normal, normalize sexual wellness for every woman in daily life, like you, like Cass, like me, like our sisters, like our daughters, and empower women to own our pleasure and create a safe space to exchange, explore, discover 360 around sexuality and intimacy. And what we want to, beside that, we want to become a thought leader and a primary driver in a sexually equitable world. Why we are so emphasizing the sexual equitable world? Because can you imagine that even in Facebook, in the major social media platform, you can promote Viagra, but you cannot promote sexual wellness for women, sexual enhancement for women. And this is something that we are here, we aim to change. There are many, many similar companies all over the world. We are the first one in Asia to challenge that, or put this way, to be crazy enough to dare to challenge the status quo. And because we believe that individuality should be celebrated and sexual exploration should be praised and not demonized. Why is that? Because sexuality informs the identity. We are so unique, so different. And once we are securing our identity, this actually builds confidence, especially for us women. And confidence is at the end what encourages us and enable us to go out and challenge status quo and change the world to make the world a much better place to the next generation. So today, what do we want to talk about? Psyche of sexual wellness. Do you even know what is sexual what? I was talking recently to someone who was like, what wellness? Self-care, so cream. I said, no, sexual wellness. And he was like, what is that? And he was like, and then he texted me next day saying, I checked with my wife, she didn't know either. What do you mean by sexual wellness? So, and then Cass has a great story to share actually with the encounterment you had this morning.
So it just happened this morning. So we were on the way to San Michael to my mother-in-law's place. Because right now, primary 6, they have their oral exams again, right? and so the rest of the students, they have no class. So today we have to do slightly different, send her off to my mother-in-law's place. So we parked and right at my mother-in-law's place. And then when I opened the door, I was like, shing, something caught my eye, shiny, right? Yeah. So it was a $1 coin on the grass at the car park area. And it was right there where if my daughter were to open, my children were to open the car door, she would have seen it. But interestingly, she opens the door and then she just come out and then and like nothing happened, right? And then I was like, hey, there's $1 on the floor. And she actually started looking. And she's like, where is it? Where is it? And I'm like, there, it's right there. And it's like, no, I don't. Where is it? Like, are you kidding me? Like, no. And then now I have, and at that point I had to literally use my finger, point exactly at that spot. And then she, okay, I see it. And then she was like, not my money, I'm going to pick it up. And then she just walked away. Okay, so that's besides the point.
The quickness of the story.
The point here is awareness. Like when she opened up the door, she didn't even notice that it was there. When I talked to her about it, there's a coin on the floor. She still can't see, can't find, don't understand it, right? Until I had to really give her very clear directions, pinpoint it right at that location, using my finger and go all the way, and then she sees it. So I think in many ways, relating back to Jingjin's friend, that sexual wellness is something that if we just casually talk about it, it's a very vague idea. Do you really get it? Do you really see it? No, but it's actually there. Just because you're not aware doesn't mean that it's not there. And I think it's important to really point it out in order for you to even consider it, and then really start to evaluate and think about this as a wellness pillar. I always think that in terms of wellness, there are many different layers, right? If you talk about, go back to the Maslow's hierarchy, right? There's food, there's security, right? So,
sleep, and then you have the toilet.
Yes.
All the basic needs.
Yeah, correct. The basic needs, right? And so if I think about wellness as a whole, okay, we are talking about physical wellness, mental wellness, emotional wellness, right? And then there's also this thing about spiritual wellness. But is this the end of it? Is that what your life is about? And nobody talks about sex, but humanity exists because of sex.
Of that, yeah.
If there's no when that piece is gone, we will have been long extinct. Yeah, but so it is actually there and very important, but nobody talks about this. So this very last pillar, in my perspective, is something that we really want to bring it up, so that it's out there, slowly in your face. So we don't do it. We don't really want to push the dashboard in your face and then really here. But we just want to encourage this awareness, so that you will start to even think about it, and then you will start to progress into how can I actually, is there actually a way to make this better? Is there actually a way to how to actually manage this? Is it time to now find out more, so that now, if you have already taken care of all the other 4 wellness, maybe it's time to take care of the 5th one.
I think what is actually what we have been discussing a lot, and also with our customers and with our audience. Thank you so much for giving us so many feedbacks. We were asking, we sent out a survey saying, why is that? Because just as Cass said, I mean, this is, everybody knows it's the 5 basic needs. Because the reason we found out is that because if you say for exercise, physical wellness, you can measure that. I do exercise 30 days challenge exercise. Do I gain weight, lose weight? Do I gain more muscle? Do I gain body fat, and so on? You can measure that. Okay, Cass was sharing with me, actually applying cream in your face. All the product, 21 days, actually. So after 21 days, you should see effect. Again, measurable. Everything food, great food, you have a great evening, and then next day, you will see, okay, whether digestion system is working well or not working well according to that. So, or for example, drinking water. If you feel dehydrated, you realize, okay, something is missing. However, sexual wellness, you can't measure. How, you can do that. Our sexual wellness from scale to 1 to 10. How is that? Then what do people think about? How often do I have it? Just because you have it often does not mean the sexual wellness is great. Because in this way, we talk also to sex workers. Do you think they have great sexual wellness? They take care in a very different pillar. But they have sex all the time, in a way. So that's where some people have one of our clients was sharing with us that once a month is good enough. But that once, the quality of that once is so great that it's the indulgence into it is just a month. No need more. Amazing, no? So at the end of the day, what we realize is that why we want to raise the awareness is that it is there. Your life will be very different if you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
Just, I wouldn't say that, Qixuan's life is that, or is different now because that she pick up dollar or not. But at the end of the day, it's once you raise the awareness, you can encounter very differently.
Yes.
So because we also had one of the clients that she's saying, thank you so much. We just get it without we actually actively asking it, saying, she says, you know what, because the recommendation you have been giving us is my life has changed. Why? Because we were talking about, she was saying, okay, sexual life has been very boring, and it's always always the same. He get on, and then I'll get off, and then sometimes we all even put on some light, or we have tried many things, but it hasn't got us very far. So it is still boring. And I was like, okay, what exactly is missing? And she said, saying, okay, people are apparently having many people so many sex, and then they. Everybody's doing it, but I am not doing it right. And then I was like, okay, what is not enjoyable? Why do you think it's boring? She said that, and actually, so after a long discussion, she was sharing with me that she actually not sure whether she had it or not, whether she had an orgasm or not. She said sometimes it feels really there, but if that was it, that's pretty boring. What are you talking about? So then we gave him some hint, and they could try this, try that, maybe make some audio erotica. Then she was reading some erotic books. So ultimately, she was discover her body by herself with one of the 12 recommendations we gave her, and with some other guidance, and she experienced things herself. And she was texting me in the middle, so I got a message just the next day. She was like, oh my God, that is, now I got it, why people are so excited about this, but I have never experienced before. So now, and then this was actually right after our previous passion dialogue, and she texted me just recently, 2 days ago, saying, now it's a little bit, I have a problem again, because now with my husband, it's a little bit bored. Because obviously, if you do things yourself, you do DIY style yourself, you know how to get it. Whereas if you have to engage a second party, it becomes very challenging.
But I guess it actually also extends this question of how do you open up this discussion with your partner? You know, I guess a lot of times because if this basic idea of sexual wellness is not there, and you don't actually talk to each other about sexual wellness, and then now it becomes boring for one of the person in this partnership, right? And then the other one has no awareness of it. The other one will be thinking, I'm doing a great job all the time. And then now, but the other one is feeling that it's boring. Then when, how, under what circumstances can you actually bring this up to your partner and talk about this? Yeah. So I think having that even basic understanding that, hey, we should think about sexual wellness, as part of the rest of the wellness. Then that kind of conversations, when that kind of situation actually happens, then it at least sets the stage for a discussion. Just like you might review yourself every year, right? This year I gained weight, so next year my New Year resolution is to do this. So that is for your physical wellness. And then, so how about having something like that for your sexual wellness? But you don't have to wait until the end of the year.
Yeah. But
next day is fine, I think.
Sure. To that great point. So I was gratefully invited by Luna to have the vagina dialogue with the topic of yesterday. So they have every week, Great Luna team make every week a weekly topic about everything around vagina. Right? Sexual wellness, obviously, vagina is the organ that enables everything. We are here because of that great organ. And right? So not only the womb, but that's like, that's not it. Exactly, that's not good details. So yeah, and then it was a great panelist with Cecile from Smile Maker and Dr. Angela Tang. That was a great talk we had. And then she actually mentioned something. She said, you know what? There are many couples, they want to ignite this dialogue. So you need to have the dialogue first, the communication first. Very often, once you have the right conversation, it will lead to actually better sexual wellness better sex between couples. But people are asking how? Because very often I have the feeling we get many questions. What I'm saying, how can you? It sounds so easy. You just talk to your partner. And then very often at the women's side, I say, okay, then he thinks he's not good enough. Then sometimes he's doing it for too long. And then sometimes I get bored. So there are many, many concerns. At the end of the day, all these two, you don't want to hurt your partner. So, but then she had a great tip, I have to say, I would like to share with you. Is that the saying, don't have this conversation in the bedroom, in the act, before the act, during the act, after the act. Definitely not. But then, as Cass mentioned, you have this review in your work all the time. We have monthly, annually, half year, you name it, every company do it differently. You have a performance review with your partner as well. You can name it differently, but talk about it in a completely unintimidating environment. Have a date night, or just during dinner, saying, by the way, I would like to talk to you about that one. It was great. Praise first, give credibility, to give credit. Men need a lot of praise. And then afterwards, then you say, okay, in this part, I feel that I would like to have, actually I'm already done, but you are still giving, making the best effort out of it, but I'm actually perfectly fine. So if you overstretch it, it's no need, no? But then we got the conversation back, and then the man said, oh, thank God, because I'm actually already very tired of just doing things. So both parties think that she did not say anything because she thinks he's aiming to do it. He did not say anything because he thinks she's still enjoying it. And then because you ignite the conversation, thankfully, it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, correct.
So if you do this in an unintimidating environment and in a let's say performance-related environment as well, it's win-win. Exactly.
It's a win-win. But all of this only starts because you are aware.
Yes.
Because you're thinking about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think if we run back a little bit to maybe the Asian values where we are, it's sometimes hard to talk about this. So multiple factors, the challenge of being raised the way we are and not being very open to talk about this. But not being open is because you do not understand enough.
Yeah.
So if the awareness is lacking, and then you do not understand it enough, plus maybe you do understand but you actually don't know a solution, then sometimes you're thinking, what's the point of talking if I don't know what's the solution, right? So I think this is why we are here, to bring awareness and then really to therefore put up the ground for discussion if you want to discuss, and then you realize there are actually solutions out there. Whether you ask in a private group or you ask in PM, Jingjin or myself, right? And you realize that actually many people face very similar challenges,
right? And
there are solutions around, and we want to encourage that kind of dialogue. Again, the whole reason why this is actually named the Passion Dialogue is really we do want to have a dialogue with you, talk to us, and then we can really slowly and surely bring upon this kind of awareness and to really engage. So when you alone, if you are in a partnership, if you alone is now aware of sexual wellness and you want to use a way to introduce your partner into this as a conversation, use us as a conversation starter.
Medium.
Maybe share one or 2 points from this dialogue itself, and then you can discuss. Or another way is you send us some of your questions, and then we simply discuss it here, and then you just share that small segment with your partner that you actually want your partner to know about, and then you can see the solutions together. And because now it comes from a third party, right? So
unintimidating.
You have a question or you have something that you want to highlight, but you can't because you are not comfortable yet. Then go through us, show us your question. We discuss here, no mention of names, but we discuss the scenarios here, and then let's discuss the solutions, and then we can play around with that.
We can already start with that because we actually, without us shouting out, saying, "Oh, come to us," because we don't understand us wrong. We do only by on demand. There is no necessity if you have very often, because we get feedback saying that why are we not seeking solution? Because I don't think the problem is severe enough. Firstly, secondly, because I think I'm a weirdo because nobody has this problem. If I would ask that, people would say, or the both of us, with Jingjin and Cass, would think, what's wrong with her? We get this kind of questions, and we actually encourage you to speak because you will be surprised. 90% people, everybody just don't speak it out loud. But if I will name you 3 questions that we got that everybody who's listening or listening after will say, oh my God, they think the same. First one, 75% women have to fake orgasm because they think they have to. Because why is that? We have a question saying, is it normal that I'm faking orgasm? Yes. So 3/4 of us is faking it in a way. If you put the statistics out there. So indeed, why are women faking it? 70%, again, all of 75% think that they want to please their partner. The other 25%, they just want to get over it because they haven't reached it yet, indeed. And I think fairly speaking, half of them have reached it, but then the man still gave an effort. So they say, okay, I get, because especially in Asia context, I think I shared this yesterday, we say 男尊女卑. This is not there anymore. I think we have more female CEOs, CFO, C-suite than any other race. However, it's deep inside us. Somehow women need to please the man. I think I mentioned this in the first passion dialogue as well. So we somehow want to give the feeling to our partner that they are doing great. I mean, sometimes if you say it too often, it's less valuable. If you say it once, wow, that's great. But if you say it again, and again, it's not. So other 25% of people want to get over it, so it's perfectly normal that women are faking it. Another fun fact of that is only 1% of men, so 99% of men think that their partner has never faked it. They have never encountered a sexual relationship that the woman was faking their orgasm. This number does not match. Now, only 1% men say, yeah, most probably. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting scenario actually from my perspective, is that it really shows that the conversations are not happening. That's why the discrepancy in the numbers. And the fact is, I think if the conversation has happened, I think there is a lot of incentive from both parties to actually want to make things good, right? I mean, marriage is a long thing, but even if it's not marriage, right, for whatever
partnership,
in a partnership, right, it's going to be part of your life, and it should only get better, right? And if you are already aware of such a discrepancy, right, then you try your best to just keep improving it. But that only happens again. I come back awareness. If you're not even aware that actually she was faking it, then it's hard to even take control and do something about it. So this is where we are coming from, whereby again, it's use us as a conversation starter. I think this is perfectly okay. Just use us, it means that we have value. Right?
We actually then start to, of course we have value, come on. I mean, with all the great feedback we have already got, I mean, just leverage this channel.
Yes.
Because what we realized yesterday during the Luna talk, what occurred to us is that was one of the, many people have signed up for, they have every week a scene. Last week was move on love, this week was sexual wellness, next week was, I think, something with gynecologists, and then so every week is a specific topic. What happened is yesterday I think they have one of the most sign up. So everybody, there are many people listening. I do not know the exact number, but we got really overwhelming audience because people are curious. And now, there's something good in COVID. Why? It's anonymous. I mean, except the two of us are showing here, nobody who is watching, we know our friends, thank you so much for watching, and then some of our advocates. But during a webinar we are going to host in the future as well, it's anonymous. So you can't raise questions. You can only even enter in. Yesterday I have a Sun Wukong entering, the questions. And I was like, okay, is that the woman? Is that the...
but great questions. I have to say the audience were engaging in sense of they keep asking a lot of questions.
And then what I want to say there is, at the beginning, nobody asked questions. Although, this is the funny part. During the previous talk, people asked many questions during the talk. Whereas this one, everybody was like, what do these 4 girls have to say? Sexologists, and then people who are building the business there, and then somebody who's working for a brand, and what do the people have to say? And then when we started the Q&A, what happened is I could see Olivia was like, she actually, you can see there was no question, because then she asked something then herself.
Right.
What happened is, after she asked something, somebody, they make the first step, ask another question.
Yes.
Then suddenly people say, this question is okay to ask that question. Then we were overflooded with questions that we have to, because someone of us have to go, so we overstressed for 50 minutes. The questions they will still be reaching us. Those people are asking questions that are more than normal. But it's the start. It's the moment where somebody asks one question which they think is awkward. And then you just realize, the brand from Small Maker, we hear this like all the time. And us was like, yeah, this reach us all the time. We have already, it's not even us giving tip to others, it's even already our audience are like saying, have you guys considered this tip? Because this is what had helped me a lot, for example.
Yeah, that's right. So when I saw that, with the questions all coming in, I think that was in a way, I was very glad to see the questions running. So the part that we talk about the thinking of orgasm question, I was thinking like, that is such a great question, because everyone has it in their mind, but nobody wants to actually understand it better. So again, when it comes to collaborative efforts to enhance your sexual wellness, right? This is something that we really want to encourage. So to encourage, and in conjunction with the Vagina Dialogue done by Luna, we actually are running a promotion on our website. So go to ZaZaZu.vip, we have up to 20% of discount just for the month of August, free shipping. So
why is that? Mention why is that?
Why is that?
Why is August? Because we are in the great city Singapore, because I'm applying for PRs, that's why I'm asking for PR. No, we love Singapore, seriously. Our son is born here, and my husband and I, we love Singapore. We are doing this because Singapore is saying a lot. This is from my perspective, Cass might disagree, but it's disagree in the sense of, we started this self-love because Singapore has become 55. Happy birthday! So Singapore has always been saying, when I came to Singapore 3 years ago on the National Day, I arrived here on the National Day, and there was a national song are saying that Singaporean, come on, we are still such a great nation. More babies makes, in order to make more babies, you need to make sex more fun first, right?
Yes.
In order to innate, and then you need to love yourself more. Therefore, we say, you know what, that's why we are actually setting things under cost now to encourage, to contribute our part to make Singapore more prosperous and more babies and have more fun in sexual interactions. And therefore, visit our page, ZaZaZu.vip. It is still very DIY style, but we are working on it with our rent expert. And 15% on we had a special promotion actually for the blossoming ladies. Blossoming ladies actually age range between 20 and 35, because we had this talk in Luna, and we also write an article in Luna's platform, so have a look at it. So there are 6 picks that we discussed with sexologists, we discussed with experts, ergonomists, with the panel we have to pick this 6 specific toys for lady in that age range, because of less experience, more virtually discrete products, also based on the interview results we have to understand, okay, what are your likes and dislikes. On that, we are running 15%, right? 15% promotion, and of course, still our flagship product, our curation box. So it's a still very big question mark. What's inside? So come and find out. One-time opportunity, 20%, then you will see what's in the mystery box. But if you don't, look at our talk on the Passion Dialogue number 2. That was the talk where we discussed extensively about what's inside a box, for example.
That's right. So again, awareness. Really share this with your friends. I think, and if you want to surprise your partner, get them a gift. This is a nice time when we are running a promo. And I just want to round up to the story that I started with the dollar. So my kiddo, I think I should feel very proud, but my kiddo says, "Oh, $1, okay, I saw it, but I'm not gonna pick it up because it's not mine." And then she walked. And then I said, okay, take this up, okay, and then go to the donation box and donate it and help someone, right? It's true, it's not yours and not for you to use, but pick it up and donate it to someone and help someone else because someone else is in need of that dollar. So same thing, sexual wellness actually very needed. If you feel that someone else will need it, share this with them, and then we can have a conversation.
Fantastic. So time flies by so fast. I hope that we don't hope. I think the conversation is great. I think women need to have more confidence. We got so many great feedbacks, and we should say thank you so much for supporting us. Although everything is very DIY style, this is how we best leverage our investors' money because we are progressing. Also, we will soon fix our logo as well, fix the look and feel. We will have a complete new look for ZaZaZu. Super excited and very much new content for next week as well. And if you want to actually looking for, we got the feedback saying that we want to know what others are concerned about sexual wellness. And let us know what kind of question you would like to be answered, like Cassie mentioned before. And then we will ensure you are not the only one asking that question. And then we can talk about that openly. So
with solutions.
With solutions, exactly. So have a great rest of the week. It's almost one day left until the weekend. And we will see you on next Thursday again. Bye.